So, other faulty dating methods of evolution. Terry Mortensen writes, the idea of millions of years did not come from the scientific facts. The idea of long ages of Earth history was developed by deistic and atheistic geologists in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. These men used anti-biblical philosophical and religious assumptions to interpret the geological observations in a way that plainly contradicted the biblical account of the creation, the flood, and the age of the earth. Most church leaders and scholars quickly compromised, as we've discussed before, and as we discussed in the course Creation, Science, and Faith. They compromised using gap theory, day-age view, local flood view, etc. to try to fit deep time into the Bible. Terrible, terrible error with disastrous consequences. Radiometric dating, which is measuring the rate of decay of unstable isotopes of atoms, has three basic assumptions or presuppositions of historical science that render its conclusions unreliable. One, the original ratio or amounts of isotopes in a sample are unknown, so they must be assumed, and we all know the danger of assuming things. Two, has the decay rate been constant? That's a question we don't really know the answer to. It's an unknown, so we have to assume a decay rate. We have to assume that the decay rate has remained constant over time. Thirdly, perhaps atoms have migrated in or out of the sample. That's unknown. We haven't, it's not a contained sample over time. So we have to assume that they haven't, that there hasn't been a migration of atoms in and out of the sample. And that's really, if you think about it, a rather foolish assumption. So those realities that some assumptions, three key assumptions have been made, render the dating through radiometric dating completely unreliable. Other dating methods are ice cores, tree rings, etc. And again, a mixture of man's historical assumptions, like those with radiometric dating, are muddled up with observation, and therefore these are unreliable dating methods. What you really want for an historical account is an eyewitness account, and that's exactly what we have in Scripture. And it so happens we have it from the only completely reliable, 100% reliable eyewitness, the Creator God Himself. Perhaps I should remind us, too, that the only reason we're talking about these matters, which may seem kind of off topic to some viewers, talking about these things in an introductory Bible and biblical theology course is because these methods have been used as ammunition to attack and undermine faith in the Bible and the gospel message preserved in the Bible. Therefore, as part of the Christian spiritual warfare, these evil ideas, these strongholds and stumbling blocks to faith must be torn down and brought captive to the obedience of Christ, as we are instructed through our Apostle Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 10.